Shalom, everyone, and welcome back to another journey of truth in life where we utilize the word of the Most High, which is, according to Scripture, Romans chapter 1, verse 16, uh, the real power and only power that we have in this world to be set free from the chains of deception. And this isn't going to be a long live stream after the previous interruptions uh, of the live stream I was attempting to do a couple of days ago. I figured uh, we'll reattempt to express myself in this particular video. For those of you who are new to this channel, uh, we're all about exposing a crime of psychological warfare being committed by U.S. government officials and their civilian um, contractors. Now, the way that the crime goes is through dark psychology. Psychological warfare is waged on citizens who have a philosophy of life that goes against the grain of whatever totalitarian society those in power wish to create. Now, they have coupled that with artificial intelligence, uh, along with electromagnetic new age weaponries, uh, and pretty much these cesspool stem into every branch of government, as well as its bureaus and agencies. FBI, DHS, CIA, NSA, DOD, and DOJ are all involved in carrying out these crimes against humanity, because that's what it is. They're war convention crimes at the moment. Not sure if you guys can see, but uh, my current location is Interstate 64 um, here in the state of Virginia. And I know what you're thinking. Well, isn't the CIA headquarters in Virginia? It sure is. And my next stop is going to be near Washington, D.C. So I'm well aware of the snake pit that I am in. Nonetheless, I move forward with faith and not fear. And to continue um, to give you a description of the crimes that we expose here on this channel, it's a very uh, it's a revamped concept of the counterintelligence program, which was deemed unconstitutional in 1978. You should look up the congressional court hearing for COINTELPRO under uh, the leadership of Majority Senate Leader Church. Now, these agencies and their civilian counterparts spread lies, slander, libel, and defamation about outstanding community members. Uh, it is perpetrated under the disguise of investigation, criminal investigation. How do I know? Because I am a victim of this crime at large. And this crime against my life and against my family life has been ongoing for 10 plus years. Now we're close to justice, but I must tell you that it has no doubt been an uphill battle. Uh, now, many neighbors, family, friends, etc., are told a steady diet of lies and deception. Now, you got to be a quick thinker in order to get this, but understand there's something known as there's different facets of psychology. One of the facets is called dark psychology. Dark psychology. Now, in order to be considered for the likes of the CIA, FBI, etc., they desire that you have a background in psychology and or accounting because they want you to be able to psychologically manipulate someone, and they want you to be very calculated as you do so. And so uh, the weaponization of psychology is the lynch pin that holds this whole program together, this crime, this criminal cartel. Family, friends, co-workers, etc., are called on the phone, pulled to the side, drawn into text media, slander, um, and gossip in various forms. Normally, uh, they are they're pulled to the side, and the person that is being targeted, a character would be called into question, you know, by someone who holds them in high regard. This is how the dark psychology works. So the agency would say this person uh, is under investigation as a suspected terrorist, extremist, possibly mentally unstable. There's a mental evaluation or an threat assessment, aggression evaluation. Um, and then once the uh, government agent and their subcontractees or private security civilian counterparts uh, issue a gag order or make some sort of false claim that these are legal matters that cannot be spoken on, they will then slowly uh, use methods in order to decharacterize the targeted individual. They will label that person as a pedophile, as drug user, a criminal, uh, homosexual, or anything that they could possibly name. And by the time they actually contact family, co-workers, friends, neighbors, etc., the targeted individual support group, they have already spent years building the lie and the supported narrative. They have already gathered false witnesses and everything in order to support the lie. And the lie looks like the truth in the mind of the person that this dark psychology or this counterintelligence program is attempting to uh, mis reshape their perception of the target and so forth. So I want to welcome everyone on. I see Battle for Your Brain is in the building saying hi MTAC. Thank you for doing your live, for your content, and for your fighting to expose the truth. Absolutely. Uh, you're welcome. You know, like I said before, I didn't ask for this battle. I woke up in it. I woke up in it. You know, you don't have to do anything in order to be attacked by clinical psychopaths. These are the type of evil minded people that go around looking, seeking for an opportunity to destroy. It says, in my personal faith and belief in the scriptures that I read, that in the book of Peter, chapter 5, verse 8, It says, be sober minded, be vigilant, meaning always be aware of your surroundings, always be conscious of what's happening, be sober minded, be vigilant, be watchful, because our adversary, our operatives, oppositions, they go about like hunting lions, seeking whom they can devour, whom they can destroy, seeking an opportunity, whether it's on the workplace, trying to identify someone with kindness, which, according to their dark paradigm, that's the way that their corrupt mind think. They take kindness for weakness. They take faith for weakness. They take humility for stupidity. You got to understand how a sick mind operates. They will um, target someone based off the fact that that's just what they do. Snakes bite. You don't question why a snake bite. That's all it does. It does nothing other than inject poison and slither around, spreading venom in the lives of whomever it comes in contact with. And so um, I am truly humbled by the fact that there are people that view this content and find it helpful. Like I said, I did not ask to be in this fight. I woke up in it one day. Um, but the Holy Spirit has created me in such a way that if I get hit, automatically I'm hitting right back. That's just what it is. And I hit with my mind and spirit, not with my fist, but with my mind and spirit. I am fighting back with these words of truth. This is how we combat deception. When the enemy is deceiving, what do? How do you destroy the deceit, the lies? I mean, they've gone around to everyone, get them on the phone. For 10 plus years, I've had to play the ignorant card because they've obviously deceived people into believing that I was some sort of imbecile or lunatic. And so, whatever the enemy gives, then you have to use it to your advantage. That's Holy Spirit wisdom. So I said, okay, well, if they think I'm ignorant, then let me play the ignorant card. And so, for many years, I had to remain silent while collecting evidence against these criminals, these rogue agents who have decided to chart their own course outside of the limitations of constitutional law. They are the real criminals. If you want to look for criminals, if you want to look for liars, you want to look for mass deceivers, look no further than your United States government. This is the truth of the matter. And it's sad to say, and I see we have more comments coming in. I'll get to them in just a second. But it's just sad to say that they have literally, through a very comprehensive um, social reengineering project, and you can look up social reengineering. One of the books that I would suggest for anyone who wants to understand the in-depth history uh, of American social reengineering, the Tavistock Institute of Human Relations. That is a book that one should read if you want to understand where it comes from. It stems all the way back to the Tavistock Institute of um, Britain and so forth, because the UK and America is joining at the hip, but uh, they have dumbed down the population, the masses, to the point where it's easy for them to mind control, to MK Ultra mind control and deceive and pull the strings of the people's thought process. For an example, and then I'll get to these comments. I was checking out some videos on what people have just now come to realize about the satellite drones that are being spotted all across the US. Well, if you go through my video history, I've been reporting them for years. So while it's new to everyone else, it's old to me. These things have, I have video footage on this channel that exposes them throughout the course of my targeting. So it's nothing new. It's just new to people. Now, the point that I'm trying to make is while I was scrolling through some of the comments, reading, trying to ascertain the people's perception on what's actually going on, I was disturbed and disappointed because you had some outrageous uh, conclusions, some very trivial minded conclusions, such as aliens. Really? Aliens? Of all things, aliens that only appear in the United States. You don't have Japan reporting these things. You don't have Canada and Mexico as close as they are to the US border. You don't have any Arab or African nations just here in the US. So, you know what I mean? Like, world conquering aliens aren't just going to come to the US. And that's just how dumbed down and trivial the minds of the people have become through the miseducation of public school learning and so forth. But let me get to these comments. It says, "Word: This program is deep state, next level human experimentations with decades of transitional experimentations with dark psychology, mind control, and behavior modification." Absolutely. Topical psychology. Look up topical psychology. That is what we call behavior modification, or that is actually the scientific name for behavior modification. The I forget who's the founder of it. It skips my mind. Um, and you know, the world is going to have a rude awakening once they realize uh, who's been controlling the world and the ugly things they've been doing in secret. Once that come to the light, people are going to be mind blown. But the farce, the trick of distractions seems to be working, especially, and I hate to say this, but in my so-called Afro-American or Black community, the farce psychology uh, is very effective. Only thing they need to do is throw out the idols they've created through the entertainment industry, and Black people are more focused on Jay-Z, P. Diddy, Creflo Dollar, and T.D. Jakes than they are on what's happening in more relevant eras of life. It says, "It's unimaginable how powerful this system has become. The weaponization of brain science, mass scale social engineering with public participation, the deep, dark behavior modification, and human torture." Uh, that means it's not something that began or was initiated overnight. They've been working throughout the centuries in order to get society to the point we are at this moment. And it just so happened that there's a handful or less that escape the, um, you know, or somehow the effects of the program that was designed to mass mind control the population. It just didn't work on us. So therefore, we're seen as enemies of the state and systematically destroyed. They have destroyed all civil organizations that stood up for justice uh, uh, and was a voice of reason for the people. They've either destroyed them, infiltrated them, um, etc., in some shape, form, or fashion. The ACLU seems to be more or less a transgender, uh, you know, I'm not sure what's going on there, but I've attempted to reach out to the ACLU several times. And if you're not talking about sex change or something crazy like that, they're not trying to hear it. They're not trying to help you in any shape, form, or fashion. So sad to say the ACLU have definitely been infiltrated. I've reached out to um, the Rainbow Coalition, not the, but with Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, their uh, coalition to unite people of color, so to speak. It's a no-go. The NAACP, uh, it's a no-go, you know. And so it just brings me to the realization that they have done a great job um, destroying all possible areas of support. Uh, it says the technology is incredible. The cyber physical system uh, incorporations of targets, brains, biometrics data into network infrastructure and live augmented reality for oper- operators to target. Absolutely. I mean, firsthand, I studied some of the uh, pu- uh, publications in the science lectures on this cybernetic brain invasive technology. And let me tell you, it is next level. It's beyond the average person's ability to comprehend. You know, technology that can uh, uh, oh, okay, I don't know how to put it into words because, like I've said before, I'm not the best orator, and sometimes my thoughts are there, but the words to express them are absent. So the best way that I can put it is, uh, people underestimate how far along we are technologically and scientifically in this world. When we're talking about augmented reality uh, and uh, computer human interfacing, people's thinking, metaverse. They're thinking, what are some more example? The virtual goggles, etc. We're way beyond that. You know what I mean? That is just distraction. That is, uh, toys that they give you in order to keep you from really knowing what's going on behind the scene. You don't need like VR goggles in order for them to be able to interject uh, things into your reality. via neurotechnology to be able to alter someone's reality through brain to computer, artificial intelligence to brain interfacing. And it is mind blowing beyond my ability to be able to even properly explain it here on this channel. The best way that I can put it is, um, well, there's a movie called The Matrix. And in The Matrix, talking about part one, a character by the name of Morpheus, I believe he was played by Lawrence Fishburne. That's and so Lawrence Fishburne, who's playing the character Morpheus, he's talking to Neo, and in Neo's uh, world, he was introduced to a reality that was computer generated. His brain had literally been hooked up to a computer, and he was now physical, well, not physically, but he was virtually uh, living in an alternative reality, experiencing it as if he would uh, the everyday normal life reality, and he could not even tell the difference. And Morpheus gave him uh, the explanation when Neo asked the question. You're telling me this world is not real? What I'm seeing, tasting, touching isn't real? And the point I wanted to make was, Morpheus said that is it so difficult to believe that you're in a computer program that um, if you're talking about what is real based on what you can see, taste, touch, hear, and smell, then you're talking about the interpretation of electrical systems sent by uh, your brain cells. And that can be and has been scientifically and technologically manipulated. And this is where we are. And they have weaponized this. They are non consensually using this against targeted individuals. It's next level. Uh, I've even been victimized by it. You know, Eh, sad to say, but we're dealing with monsters. These people, think of, oh man, like you've heard the term mad scientist. They're beyond that. You're talking, the story of Frankenstein or Frankenstein, or if you've ever read the book or watched the movie, where he would just go to the graveyard, chop up body parts and piece them together, trying to create something in his image and in his likeness, trying to be God, to give something life or to give a new creation, a new expression. This is what we're dealing with. Psychopathy on a level uncomprehendable by normal minds. And when you're dealing with psychopathy of this magnitude, there's no reasoning with a beast uh, of that nature. It got to be pretty much put down. And this is why I tell people, do I care? Yes. I'm locked and loaded as I am shooting this video. Why? Because I understand we're not dealing with humans. We're not dealing with someone who has empathy, sympathy, reasoning, moral respect for themselves and others, the ability to carry out the golden rule in life. We're dealing with uh, very brute minds that have acquired power or acquisition, should I say, power unto themselves um, on a level unprecedented. Therefore, we must be responsible enough to, uh, carry ourselves as such. We're in a war zone. They've created it. And so You know, I tell people, be responsible. If you think that someday these people are going to wake up and say, you know what we've done is wrong, we're sorry, we shouldn't have done this, think again. Psychopaths don't think like that. Like I said, study this book, Dark Psychology and Manipulation by William Cooper. It'll help you understand the corrupt thinking of these people. No, we wouldn't think like that. Normal people don't think like they do. Normal people aren't in a lab trying to create, um, you know, a tool or a weapon to invade another person's brain. Normal people don't go around spreading lies, rumors, destroying people's social um, constructs just to be able to isolate a person so that they can perpetrate these um, crimes against humanity. So you have to understand you're dealing with uh, the mind of a snakish society of whatever. It says exactly transhumanism. They are playing with um, mentally, emotionally, and cognitively uh, castrating us. They are playing with mentally, emotionally, and cognitively castrating us. Literally translating animal experiments to humans, human cognitive castration. I couldn't have said it better. You know, I had to read it twice in order to wrap my mind around it. But yeah, you know, when you're castrated, you lose your potency. You know what I mean? And that's what they are afraid of. Uh, Just take a moment to ponder this. You're dealing with a group of people that are uh, so paranoid of you being able to think for yourself. They would rather, uh, you know, castrate that ability from you. That goes to show you what we're up against. You know, these people have no idea what it means to be human. This is why they spend their life trying to study and observe us. You know, when someone don't have a life of their own, they're always in someone else's life, or when they don't have business of their own, they're always in someone else's business or trying to destroy that their business or their life. So you got to understand these are people that's never been able to build successful relationships. They don't know who they are, and they're trying to figure that out by dismantling or dissecting who you are because you know who you are, and they want to take it apart and examine it and look at it. You know what I mean? And to be able to control it, they fear. I know it sounds crazy, but that's what you're dealing with. It's you know, it's that mad scientist mentality. That's what I call it. Is they have a mad scientist psychosis. You know, everything that they see um, and don't understand, they want to take it apart and see how it works. They want to be able to see if there's some way that they can control it or utilize it to their self gain or benefit. This is just the dark psychology of the psychopaths that run the deep state. It says, yes, this is a metaverse asylum. They have our live data broadcasted into an augmented reality user interface, an application for the select public, the operators, and handlers to monitor and stalk us. So, what he's saying is for those who may not understand, simply put, technology, brain to computer technology, probably the most um, common in retro form that you may be familiar with if you're watching this video is the EEG, electroencephalogram. This is when they hook those little, uh, you know, monitors up to your head, your forehead, your brain, etc. And then they're able to produce graph charts based on your brain activity. Um, Oftentimes, if someone's been in an accident or had some sort of trauma, this tool is hooked up to their brain in order to detect if there's any brain activity or to determine whether or not that person is brain dead. You see these in the hospitals, etc. Well, the technology that is being utilized by this deep state uh, is far beyond that. Far, far beyond that. Imagine those linear graphs um, being comprehensively understood or interpreted to the point where it by an artificial intelligence supercomputer, uh, so much so that it can decide if you're thinking about what you're going to eat, what direction you're going to turn, whether you're reminiscing about, um, you know, friend or a family member, etc. Now, take that uh, comprehensive interpretation, or what book spirit tech would call mind writing technology or mind reading technology, and and broadcast it, be able to share that information um, with someone else who obviously has been implanted with um, neural lace or Neuralink technology that would allow the brain to receive digital downloads. This is what he's saying, and it's not sci-fi. It's not science fiction. This is the reality of what's going on in 2024 and has been going on for a while. Tragic Magic is in the building, man. My brother from another mother. It's been a long time. Happy to see that you have returned to support your brother. It says, I'm on remote neural monitoring uh, since some time now. So, we have real life victims in the building. These are crimes against humanity. And like I said, for the most part, and I used to be this way too for many, many years, for pretty much my whole life up until just recently. Um, I just so nice that I wouldn't even heard of beast. Well, guess what? If that beast has become uh, ravenous and rabid in the mind to the point where it's producing harm and possible fatal harm to you, your family, and others, hey, do what you got to do to protect yourself. And if the uh, decision comes between your life and theirs, I pray that you're smart enough to protect their life, because we need you. We don't need them, but we need you to be around here. Your kids need you. Your family needs you. The world needs you. The world needs more good people, and that's what they're doing. They're, uh, you know, eradicating all free-minded, free-spirited, revolutionary thinkers from the face of the planet. And they've, uh, been very successful at it for quite some time. I do believe that we're on a precipice of no return. At this particular point, I believe they have no other choice but to come out of the shadows and expose who they are and what they're about. And I believe this is why targeted individuals are seeing this uh, social reengineering tech program on a level unheard of. I believe they're starting to come out of the shadows, and in 2025, you will see them fully manifest themselves and manifest the technology. It'll no longer be something that, is, hearsay or innuendo. It'll be in your face. This is where we are. And it's going to take the vast majority by surprise. When you realize that a lot of your co-workers, a lot of your law enforcement, a lot of your government officials, uh, financial institute CEOs already have this technology downloaded into their brains in order to give them an advantage over the rest of the population. As a matter of fact, there's a TED Talks. I will attempt to share it on my YouTube channel if you're subscribed. I'll try to make it the featured home video. But on TED Talks, there was a concept video surrounding the neurotech chip that would allow students to download information instead of learning it the way that humans are accustomed to. Now, this video was published maybe 8 to 9 years ago, and they had already developed the chip. We're familiar with Neuralink, but there's other the software and tech developers as well that's been along with DARPA that have more comprehensive technology, and it's in use. You know what I mean? It's in use. And so this is where we are. It says, yes, it's been a minute. How are you? Man, I'm going through right now. I'm just outside of Richmond, Virginia. I've gone through so much. It'll take too long for me to even try to recap um, the recent events of my life. And so, all in all, I'm doing well. I'm not going to complain. Still fighting this beast system. Uh, but I have newfound hope. I do believe that pretty soon I will be able to uh, file uh, civil claims against the perpetrators because that you are entitled to civil recovery for your punitive compensatory pain and suffering in losses in any regard. You are entitled to restitution and reparations for the crimes that's been committed against your life. Let's see the next comment. It says, okay, so that's personal. It says they have mastered mind interrogation methods far beyond extractions to the point of dream, memory, and thought manipulation. We are puppets on a string. Absolutely. Imagine that someone who's able to invade your dream while you're asleep and interrogate you, to manipulate someone's dream. Like, imagine like the level of like human disrespect. Like, oh man, the closest character that I can think uh, relative to what you're reading right now is Freddy Krueger. You know what I mean? Like when I'm reading this, right? What you see on your screen, like the only character that comes to mind is Freddy Krueger. Who else jumps into dreams, manipulate, interrogate, intimidate in order to eliminate someone? A monster, right? A monster. And so, what they were showing us in the Nightmare on Elm Street, it was just in the Masonic order, they say hide the truth in plain sight. It was showing us who they are and what their intentions were all along, to get to a point where they're able to torment someone by invading their mind, uh, even to the point of a dream invasion, thought invasion, emotional invasion, etc. I shared on a video maybe 4 months ago, 3, 4 months ago, uh, how the Department of Defense 12 years ago had weaponized um, frequencies to the point where they were able to alter someone's emotional state. And this is from a news clip. People don't believe this. You know, I tell people, stop worrying about entertaining yourself, educate your mind, because it's some real uh, life issues that are need to know going on in everyday life. I do apologize, you guys. I'm emotionally, mentally, and physically fatigued. 2 days ago, I was in Dallas, Texas. Right now, I'm 1,900 miles away, approximately 18 to 1,900 miles away in Virginia. So I've been working time and overtime. Last night, I worked let's see, I drove from Dallas to Meridian, Mississippi, stopped there. So that was like 7.5 hours. Go from Meridian to Greensboro, South Carolina. That was another uh, 9 to 10 hours. So we're looking at 16 to 17 hours before I got 2 hours of sleep and finished driving the rest of the way, which was an additional um, 5 hours. And so hopefully you guys are able to excuse me because um, I am mentally, physically, and emotionally exhausted at this point. But due to financial sabotage, I'm doing what I have to do in order to just survive. And while I'm trying to survive, trying to, keep my life afloat, I'm constantly being followed around by a psychotic team that is utilizing not only directed energy weapons, but mind invasive technology. They're just, if I wasn't in this truck, I would walk around. There's somewhere in some white van, you know what I mean, setting up their equipment to carry out the same experimentations that we're discussing right now. And this is a day-to-day continuous ordeal. You know, like I said, these people need to be exposed for their crimes and locked away for life. They need to be put away from society. I used to oppose the death penalty, but for these bastards and the crimes that I know they've committed against me, my family, and apparently uh, thousands of others, it, The electric chair would suit them just fine. I believe lethal injection would be a too humane way of dealing with it. They need to be slowly electrocuted to death. And I thought I would never say that about someone, but after witnessing uh, these monstrous actions, I can't even categorize them as humans or uh, perceive to give them any magnitude of human respect in any regard. Uh, See, it says you all need to be nonlinear junction scan, uh, NJ, LJS, and RF scan for implants. Says yes, yes, Freddy Nightmare, but what's happening to us is far worse than any movie, sci-fi, or horror film. This program is far more evil than anyone can imagine. Gates of hell, man-made hell. There it goes. That's exactly what it is. And sad to say, we're having this discussion, and it's only 2 to 3 people in the room. This needs to be a everyday table talk in every household across America. If you guys don't mind, I'm going to close this video, and the next live stream we'll be going back over this informatory, discussing this mind reading, mind technology, brain zapping, um, tech weaponry being utilized by the deep state government. Hopefully, you guys are able to be in the next live stream. Hopefully, I will have a well rested mind and body and be able to give you better content. Feel free to share this video and any other video with someone, anyone. I appreciate and love all of you. Till next time, stay woke, stay in the word, and I promise you, you will be blessed. Your boy MTAC, as always, has got to be his